Welcome back, and this is rFactor running the F1 1978 mod. And I did say in the tour of the rig that I might run this as a video, and I have decided to. So this is going to be a 7-lap race around Watkins Glen, 27 car grid. I'm in the Ferrari of Carlos Reutemann. I chose the Ferrari just simply because I think it looks one of the best cars on the grid, and also it is a good car. Now, the frame rate is a bit choppy and I do have a bad start. The starts are very hard with this mod, I can tell you. It's really hard to keep up the pack, and that was a good start really by my standards. We're going to be quite slow in turn 1. We don't want to get close to everyone, we need to be a bit careful. We definitely don't want damage this early on in the race. A bit of oversteer, it's always exciting. These cars are fantastic. Now we also have to be careful going into the chicane here. We can gain a few positions, but as you can just see, I could just get chopped off and we end up not gaining any until on the exit, where we absolutely floor it. But we need to get the slipstream, and we don't really get it with the, I think that's an ATS beside us. We don't have slipstream, and the ATS, I'm pretty sure it's an ATS, yeah it is, attacks us, but we get braking into the corner. I think we do give them a tap, I'm not too sure, but my braking zone's much later than the AI, and they just brake so early. And we almost hit the Renault here, but we just about miss them. And now we get a little bit of a breather. So, the AI are running at 105% difficulty, they are 100% aggression. The damage is 100%, so the AI are actually a bit above the default, and they're a bit slow, I'd say. I think that's my only gripe with this whole mod. As we brake down and we pass into the corner, that was quite a cheeky one, because it's hard to overtake there. And I also I think I have a bit of a look at stuck here, trying to sneak through on the inside, but just touch the curb and get a bit of oversteer. And we can't really overtake him here because there's no real gear change. So, although last corner, do we dive up? No, we don't dive up on the inside. Try and get a good run, but we have a bit of a slide on. But I mean, this always happens with these cars, they just slide so much, but it's so much fun. I'm also running with no assists whatsoever other than clutch, which, considering I don't have a clutch, would be a bit hard to run without. I'm going back up to the chicane. This is one of my favourite overtaking spots, because when you overtake someone here, it's quite satisfying, I can tell you. But we're quite slow through there because everyone else is just holding us up at the moment. We are in a faster car, but I mean, we started last because I didn't want to do qualifying, because it's more interesting charging up the field. And we do have a bit of a slipstream here on stuck with Fittipaldi in front, and we're going to brake and also get Fittipaldi was ahead, but I mean, now we're behind Fittipaldi. And are we going to go up his inside? Yes, we are. That was quite a late move there, but we have decent traction though on that corner. Normally I'm sliding through that whole corner, and today I just had traction. I was just able to get around it, and here we go again. A very, very sneaky overtake. I don't think you'd normally overtake like that, because that corner, once you put the foot down, you go in and we just snuck up the inside. So now behind Tambay, and I think we have a bit of a fight until we can get to him. Oh no, this is where we go around the outside of Tambay. That's very sneaky as well. That was very nice, just having a bit of a slide at the exit. But to go around the outside in these cars, it isn't easy, because how much they slide, you can so easily lose it. And we go up the inside, which is very risky on this corner, because there is a bump. I don't think I really hit the bump, but I know before I've hit a bump there, and it's just sent me straight into the wall. It's probably the worst corner for it. And we're just having a little look at Watson, just looking at the inside. We're not really going to be able to get it. And we have a run on him, so we might be able to get him at the chicane. We're diving up the inside. He's off the throttle, and we are through just before the chicane, which is good. Hit a bit of a curb, so we didn't get a great exit, but we're still ahead of him, so we can push on and try and catch up to Lauda. Now, the track pack is F1 1979, so it's a year after, but the guy who made the 78 mod has provided links to all the tracks that would be in 78. So, you know, the guy clearly cares. I'll put a link to the mod in the description because it is great and I really think you should try it. It's just amazing. The sliding and everything, it just feels so realistic. And we have a bit of a slide on there with Lauder, and we try and dive up his inside, but we just can't get it, and he just powers around our outside. We don't want to run into him, and we definitely don't want damage, because these just, well, like with any F1 car, damage just ruins your race totally. And we have a bit of a better exit, but we get the slide on because we're putting a bit too much power down, but we hold it. Thinking about going around the outside and then cutting to the inside, and we get a bit of a slide on. We would have saved that until I decided, you know what, I need more power. I wanted to try and overtake him, but I tried a bit too hard and ended up losing a bit more time. And so we've gone for a lap without overtaking Lauder, which was a bit annoying. I think Lauder holds us up the most in this whole race. And once again we have a little look at the inside at turn 1, but the car's quite squirrely into turn 1, especially at the rear. And often I just lose the rear completely and have to slide through the whole first corner. And we think about going up the inside of the chicane, but we can't do it on this lap. We get a bit of a slide again. I mean, it's just sliding every corner, it's great. And we get behind Lauder, go for the slipstream, and we should be able to brake later than him. Should be able to. Closing on him quite rapidly, and pulling out, and then up the inside. With Pironi in front of us in the Tyrrell, with a bit of a gap. I think at this point we're about 8th, maybe 9th, we're around there. So we've moved up almost 20 positions already. And I think that's just the leaders, you can just see them going around the corner ahead. I'm trying to catch up to Pironi. And the traction as well in that corner had been pretty decent through the whole race. Normally I was sliding through there as well. I was just totally on the ball for most of the corners when I was doing this race. And we actually, well, I say totally on the ball, we actually outbraked ourselves there, but we didn't really lose any time at all. And thinking again up the inside of Pironi, but it's too risky, you just don't want to get damaged, and wheel-to-wheel contact on these does cause quite bad accidents. So we'd rather not risk it, but we do have a decent exit. Are we close enough to go up the inside? Yes we are! No we're not! Yes we are! Oh, we're side by side. Is he ahead? Is he ahead? I think we're just about ahead. With the inside giving us a better exit. And we are ahead. Oof, now we've got to try and catch the other Tyrrell. Now, the one other thing that I so much enjoy about this mod is because I can drive it. You've probably seen from my other videos, I'm not as good as this driving modern F1 cars, and that's probably because I don't prefer the grip. I prefer having a slidey car, and I just find it more fun, but also more natural to me. More natural to grab the oversteers. We get the slipstream on the other Tyrrell. I'm going to go up the inside, and now hunting down Lafitte. That's probably one of our favourite overtaking places just because we do it so often. We just get the slipstream and then down the inside, and they just can't beat us. They have quite late, early braking compared to us, so it's quite good. Actually changing up to gear 4 there. I didn't often change up to gear 4 there because once you changed up you pretty much had to brake, so it wasn't really worth it, and I was learning all the time. Even though I've done many laps here, I'm still learning about the gearing and when to actually change up is quite important. A bit of a slide there. That is a horrible place to lose the back end because you're going downhill in, I think, gear 2. So you just spin the wheels up as we get a great exit on the Ligier. And we dive up his inside and start chasing down Hunt. And through the final corner. And we actually did get a bit concerned of a slide there, so I had to steer a bit less. I was quite concerned of getting a slide on and hitting the wall, and that's just, you know, the worst thing that can happen. And I would say we are on the second to last lap. I'm not too sure. Lap 6 potentially. As Hunt has a horrible run through the chicane, he whacks the curb, and we have a great exit compared to him. We are going to pass him way earlier than normal. As we get the stream, and we pull out and go for the overtake. And now we just have our teammate Villeneuve in front of us with the lead, with the 2 Wolves and the 2 Lotuses. we need to catch with 1 lap after this lap. Can we catch them in time? That's the question. Can we go from 27th to 1st in a 7-lap race? Well, we'll see. Once again, going up to 4th, but it's only for like, I'd say, half a second to a second that we're actually in 4th, so it's questionable whether it's actually worth it. Although, it's never good to run into the limiter, so it's probably better going into 4th. And if I remember correctly, we are about to have a big slide. Nope. No, we're not. Great. Gear 2 for this corner, and we do often slide through that, like, there's the big slide I was on about. We do often slide through that corner. I mean, it's gear 2 and it's uphill. That corner was probably the hardest for me to learn when I was learning the track, but sort of got it under control now. I'm clipping the curb there, which is quite risky, to be honest. These cars don't like big curbs. Small curbs, they're alright with, but big curbs where you take air, they're not very good at all. And you can tell I'm starting to push now. I'm trying to use every bit of road as I can as I clip that first curb, because we are on the last lap and we need to catch the leaders. And we have a great run through the chicane though this time. The best run is when you don't hit the curbs at all, but it's quite hard to do that, I can tell you. And then you just have a perfect run. Absolutely perfect. I don't think we're quite picking up the slipstream here, but we are definitely getting close. We have Villeneuve in our sights. This is an enjoyable corner as well, because you brake and then you basically have the throttle on for most of the corner. It's quite weird in that sort of sense, where it's quite a fast corner already, and you're flat out for most of it. You just have a bit of a braking zone and then you're heavily on the throttle. And I take quite a thinner line through there. I'm quite much tighter and closer to the grass than the AI, which is quite interesting. They prefer the wider, probably carrying more speed sort of line. And we are nearing the end of the lap, and I'm starting to get, well, starting to take a bit more risks to try and catch people, but I don't think I'm going to catch the leaders. But it's all about beating your teammate. And can I beat Villeneuve? Can I get past him? And we're looking, are we going to dive up his inside? Going to go for the switch back, go up his inside, behind the Wolves, to across the line, in 4th place. Is it 4th? Was it 5th? 5th place. Just missing out on a, or is it 4th? 5th. 5th place. This is great. Just missing out on the podiums there. But, I mean, considering we started 27th, that's pretty good. So, that was the F1 1978 mod, which is a fantastic mod. You should download it. It is brilliant. I am absolutely enjoying it. I'll probably say it's my favourite mod on rFactor ever. And it's just amazing. I've had rFactor for a few years now, and I've downloaded many a mod, and I don't think much comes close to this. So, I may do a few more of these for some other mods that I really enjoy. I do have 1 or 2 in mind. But that was F1 1978, so I shall see you next time.